Hey there everyone, Luke here, and happy Easter. Yes, this is the last chapter before the Easter break. Now I know after the chapter that's coming out this week, chapter 200 will be happening on a week when we're going to have a break. So yeah, ending it on that moment, like probably just a coincidence, but a very big coincidence that chapter 200, right, the series goes on break, and yeah, making it 200 chapters with no end in sight. Like seriously, like no end at this moment in time in sight, because a lot of stuff is happening, a lot of slice of life moments. This chapter's another slice of life moment. Not one of my favourites, but okay-ish, I'll say. So yeah, really, the chapter is 198, titled Unique Sneak. Now, this might actually have been done in reference to the fact that we've just gotten like the first two episodes of the anime, and it might have been callbacks to that, because literally we're in a classroom and we have the spell from the first chapter that is used in this chapter. So yeah, without further ado, we'll get on with it. So the chapter starts off with them preparing to launch the class, like Nico and Charmy's class, preparing to launch a surprise for the teacher of making a banner that says happy birthday, because it's the teacher's birthday, and they obviously respect their teachers to go through all of this, as Nico is complimenting her classmates and trying to say like, oh, we have to hurry because teacher will be here soon. So they say, well, put that in the Kusan diamond ball, and when he arrives, we'll pull the string. He'll see happy birthday. They'll be like, oh my god, you remember my birthday? Oh, that's so sweet. That's so sweet for you guys, and he's going to love it. But one of their classmates has made another banner for a not so well liked teacher in the school. Basically, like, kind of like if the Hulk became a teacher, but it was like a long perpetual state of anger. So where this student is like calling this teacher a potato head and everything, and it's a hero's a potato face, and they're like, oh, you're seriously gonna call him a potato face? Like, do you even know what the consequences are for that? But the student's like, oh, don't worry, I think it's cool. Like, yeah, this is gonna work out because it's cool. And they're saying like, you'll be dead if he finds out about that. And this is where the students just like, what? Come again? Can you say that again? Like, because I couldn't quite hear that, as they go on to explain the whole idea about she's being the scariest teacher in the school. Lame insults like potato face are especially bad. He hates them. So basically hating, like. For example, like if this teacher was in Red Dwarf, which by the way is a series I've got a few people into, a sci-fi comedy series from Britain, and I'd love to share this with people who are in the Control Chaos Discord. I'd love to do more showcases of Red Dwarf in the Discord server. So if anyone's up for it, that watches these videos from the Discord server, let me know and we'll see if we can sort something out. But yeah, it would be like if this teacher was in Red Dwarf and just heard an insult like, oh, Grand Canyon nostrils, or smeghead, or trumped up little squirt. He'd be like, how dare you do that? Like, just basically going out in anger and anything like that. And he heard, and they heard he was on that breaking down MMA. So he's an MMA fighter. So he's basically like Tsukasa from Dr. Stone. If Tsukasa was a really buffed up, Tsukasa is buffed up, but more buffed up than he is buffed up, as they go on and say, doesn't his family run a prison? So basically giving out the just scariest thing, like MMA fighter runs a prison, doesn't like bugs, and he gets especially grouchy. So yeah, do not insult him. That's basically the underlying thing here. Do not insult this teacher. So Charmy informs the student like, oh, you better hide it quick, as like, as they're saying, like, quick, teacher's coming, like, okay, you got everything ready, sounds, everything ready for this idea to go off. Okay, yeah, great, everything's going. But of course, it's Hiyori, like, substituting for today, as if they couldn't get their worst look in the world. Now, I will say about this teacher, yeah, pretty scary guy. I mean, he's got the goatee, the moustache, the eye patch. There it is, the age-old cliche of... I'm surprised Witch Watch hasn't even put this out, like, with all the cliche aspects of things that I've got. They haven't done this at all yet with an eye patch. Like, why do so many anime and manga characters wear eye patches? Like, is Japan like a plethora of, like, hey, we've got a sun eye patch here, got a sun eye patch there, got a sun eye patch everywhere. So yeah, everyone is just freaking out here, like, quick, you gotta hide that panel, like you made it, as he says, alright, butts in seat. I've got to do it like, alright, butts in seat, or I'll chuck you out of the window. Like, I can imagine that's the kind of voice this character would have. But yeah, he explains, like, the regular teacher is out with a cold out today, so he's going to be the substitute. And he's like, and everyone is just like, oh, okay, we have you as a substitute. Yeah, that's good. And he's like, oh, you got a problem with it? Like, if you got a problem with it, I'm gonna chuck you out of the window. And they're like, no, sir. Before he's complaining, like, why is there calligraphy paper on the calligraphy paper on the floor? Yeah, I couldn't get that word out, calligraphy. Like, it's kind of like a word that I have trouble with sometimes. And they were like, oh, yeah, no, teach. We were just practicing something earlier. We all wrote it. As he finds the sign, he's like, what is this? Happy birthday? What's all this about, kids? Tell me now, I'll chuck you off the window. And they go on to explain, like, it's Mr. Sarikusui's birthday, and we wanted to do something really sweet for him, right? And he's just like, and I can just imagine him like, oh, is that so? Right, okay, sweet of you all for doing that for him. And before he notices, like, the Kusadama ball up on the rack, and he's just like, what's inside that? And we all know, like, that's the banner that, yeah, they do not want him to see Korean Potato Head. And yeah, we finally get the name of the student, which is Kosumi, and he's just there like, yeah, what are you swearing like that for? Yeah, so Kasumi wasn't paying attention to everything. He was just like panicking, like, quick, I've got to hide this somewhere. And so he chose the worst place possible to hide it. Like, he didn't, like, just chuck it under his desk, just put it in a cupboard, just put it in one of his bags. No, he chose the worst place. It's like dangling. So, like, if that comes loose, he's gonna see it, and he's gonna flip a shit, as they say, like, oh crap, in this moment, yeah, we've realised exactly how much trouble we are actually at. Well, the caption says, it says it in, like, a very One Piece style. In that moment, all of Class 5-1 realised exactly how much trouble they were in. Like, yeah, they are in serious trouble right now. They've got to find a way to get that and get it going. As he's there, like, we're starting. So open those textbooks right now. You've got 3 seconds. I have chucking you out the window. As Nico is saying to, like, Charlie, like, okay, now, what do we do here? We gotta get that out of there, or else he's gonna see it. All we have to do is just get to him right nose it. As Charmy's like, okay, what do I have to work with? I have Slump. I can try Slump. So she tries Slump first, but it turns out that Slump has a particular range. So he says that the target's in the opposite corner of the room, so I can't quite reach. I'd require another 2 or 3 frames. So it's. I don't think we've even acknowledged that so far if Slump even had a range that he. No, he did. No, when they reintroduced it, I believe he did say, like, he had a range. So being consistent with his powers here. So yeah, Charmy has got to be able to get up and move closer. So she tries the age-old technique of just like, oh, I dropped my eraser, I've got to get up, I've got to pick it up. So let me just get a few feet here before the teacher, despite how scary he is like coming over. It's like, here, you dropped it, take it. As Charmy, you can just tell, like, you can tell, like, she's just sweating, like, probably sweating nervously about, like, is this even gonna go, like, how I imagine, or is something really gonna go wrong? And even when she sees the teacher, it's like, she's probably like, thank you, sir, thank you, sir, thank you, sir, thank you, sir. As the teacher is there, just like, thank you. It's been forever someone has thanked me. Everyone's too scared to even talk to me. Yeah, I can imagine, like, he's probably got that gruff voice, and to top that off with the way he actually looks, and the fact that he's saying, like, everyone seems scared of me. When you're afraid to chuck them out of a window, like Miss Trudgeman from Matilda, I think people have every right to feel like you are scary, dude. So now that the first plan has failed, Charmy's just like, okay, Slum didn't work. I am virtually out of ideas right now. So, Nico, do you have any better suggestions? So Nico's just like, okay, think brain. So the only idea that I can really think of here, Charmy, is if we just have to get to the Casadama without Hyorin noticing, as she says to herself, like, yeah, that's movability, which makes you hard to notice, and invisible blind, which actually makes you invisible, but she hasn't obviously retrieved those yet. So maybe these are like the next spell she's going to retrieve later on in the story, or maybe they're the final spells that she'll retrieve before she goes back into her adult form. We just don't know, but it's nice that we're actually acknowledging more spells that she's accumulated over the series. So the only one that she really has any semblance of using is limb climb, which basically turns her into Spider-Man. Like turns her into the Spider vice principal from 100 Girlfriends. Yes, there's a Spider vice principal in 100 Girlfriends. Just go along with that. So yeah, Charmy asks her, oh, what spell is that? And it lets her stick and unstick to the walls. And yeah, Charmy's probably thinking like, oh yeah, no, yeah, you're probably going to be Spider-Man there. But she also realizes, like, no, because he's going to actually spot someone. He's going to be like, what is one of my students doing on the wall here? Like, what the hell is going on? Do I have to chuck her out of the window? That's probably what he's going to be, thinking. She actually says, Charmy actually does say on the next panel, like, I've already just noticed that, like, she actually does say, like, oh, Nico, what are you going to think? Like, the teacher's going to think you're Spider-Man, and it's definitely going to he's definitely going to spot a kid crawling on the ceiling, but Nico's like, no, Charmy, it's fine, because he has a major weakness, which is the fact that one of his eyes is covered up, kind of like a blind spot for him. So they've got one side of the room where he shouldn't be able to see her, but Charmy is still a bit unsure about it. Before she says, oh, I know that alone isn't enough. We'll need someone over by the window to drop. So basically, being a distraction for him. So Charmy's like, so just leave that part for me. You go ahead and use your spell, climb up on the wall in the ceiling, and grab the Kusadama ball. As we get the character explaining what limb climb is. Hand suction is controlled by opening and closing the eyes, sticking the tongue out. So basically, turning it into the vice principal for which I can't believe, like, that is a thing that I can give an analogy for in this situation, considering it's the vice principal for 100 Girlfriends. So yeah, continuing on, we get more of like how the spell actually works. Like, closing the left eye makes the left hand stick, and opening the eyes will release it. Sticking the tongue out to the left lets one move the left leg, and sticking it out right to the right, like, does the. So basically, like, just your tongue becomes part of this idea. So this is where Charlie sets the plan into motion. Like, okay, she gets the attention of some of the others. Like, okay, Nico is going to buy time so that we can get that Kusadama ball, get that message out of it before Hiyori even notices. And so one of the students just like, okay, what do I do? Think before he starts to ask Hiro a question. As it's like, oh, I don't understand this part here. Could you come over and maybe explain it to me? And it's like, okay, this is the only chance that they actually have here. So first Nico puts her left hand on the wall and then closes her left eye. So basically doing the spell, and she's finally able to stick to the wall, but it's really draining on her. I imagine like because of the fact that she's a kid at this point, so it's going to be naturally more difficult for her to like concentrate and actually climb on something because her body's not at its prime that it's been in the past. Before Charmy is just like, okay, Nico, you've got to be quick here. It's gonna guide you a few minutes, probably even a few seconds, but you've just got to be quick here. As here the show is still distracting Hiyori with the question. Before Nico is just being like really slow and getting it really complicated here. As Charmy is like, Nico, how long are you going to stick to the wall? You look like a fly. Just hurry and climb. As Nico says in her mind, the worst part is I can't tell if I'm going to get caught or not. I get nervous prickles all up and down. And if only there wasn't so much of it to be seen. Before this gets an idea of using flip flap flats, which turns her into paper essentially. Like I said. First, like I said, nice callback to the beginning of the series where we actually got the, where we've actually now got the first spell that Nico ever used the second spell, because she used that spell to repair the window that she crashed through. Which one of the most bizarre entries when people who have been watching the anime, who have been watching with, have just been like, what the hell kind of entrance is that? But anyway, so yeah, nice to see a spell coming back from the first chapter into this chapter. She goes and says, "There now, I'm hard to spot." Before Charmy's just there like, come on, nobody's buying that. Your office paper, someone is gonna notice you. So as Nico continues to climb, she's like saying, "Hey, I'm getting the hang of this now. I need to pick up the pace." As we see her climbing on the wall like paper, but it's more like as she finds herself right on top of where Hiyori is with the student, and the student's just scared completely out of his mind, probably thinking like, come on Nico, can you get through this? Please just get through this. So I don't have to be in this predicament anymore. I'll beg you, please. As Hiyori says, do you not get it? I can't spend much more time on you alone. As the student's just there like, really not having anything to say. Before Nico opens up both her eyes, and at this point she's kind of like worried of like, oh my god, I'm gonna get spotted now. He's gonna spot me. He's turning around. As he always says, good, now I'm gonna get class started again. As Charmy is just there like frantically freaking out like, Nico, get up, you're gonna spill it, like everything's gonna be spilled, like, you know what's gonna happen, like you're gonna get spotted right now, so just get back up there. As Nico strength just gives in as Hiyori finally spots her, and she's like, oh my god, okay, plan C, just go for it, don't care what he's saying, just go for it. As she's able to the Kusadama ball, and it drops out, and she's just there like, okay, got the piece of paper, before Hiyori's just like, hey, I'm not falling for this. I know something's going on here. You obviously did this to distract me, to get me to not see what was inside that Kusanabo. So what is on that paper? What is written on it? As Nico says, no, sir, you don't understand. I can't let you see that. I can't let you see this. Before he does actually see it, but instead, all he reads is thank Hyosa, as he's just there like, wait, what? You guys are actually thanking me? As the teachers, as the students are just questioning like, wait, I thought it said potato head, like how does that actually work? But at this point Hiyori's just there like, you kids made a thank you gift for me, then you tried to set it up as a surprise. This is the best day. I'm so happy. Before Nico goes on to explain to the audience, like, it says here it's a potato face vertically, but because it's sideways, now it says something along the lines of thanks Hiyori's. So she's just amazed, like, what kind of miracle is that? Like, you guys just got the most luckiest break ever in the world. As Charmy is probably just there like, oh, thank God. I'm glad that's over with, but seriously, like, that could have gone south so badly, so quickly, before he always says, don't know about using Mr., but still, thanks, and Charlie should say like, oh, thank God, it's just his look that's scary, and probably his voice that's scary, but otherwise he's a really nice guy, and that's where the chapter ends. So yeah, like I said, not really much to go off on this chapter. It was just a little bit of fun frolicking around, and while I do like these slice of life chapters, and I would love to see more of them, I feel like we are just getting just slice of life. I feel like, again, it's probably gonna go. 200 is going to be the start, like maybe even after the break. 201 is the start of the next series arc. That would make the most sense. Have a couple more chapters of just Sci-Fi Life Frog, maybe focusing on more characters aside from Nico and Charlie, because Nico and Charlie have had a lot of moments together. I feel like we need to like get back to focusing on some of the side characters or some of the other main characters, like maybe focus more on one with Khan, but I imagine like 200, that's going to be like where we get focus on pretty much the entire most of the entire cast of characters. But that's something that I'll just have to wait and see, like whether or not 201 is going to be the start of the next series arc, which will be I believe. Yeah, because I started reviewing Witch Watch after the Phantom Blaze arc, because I didn't want to start in the middle of a series arc. So yeah, this will be going from start to finish my first series arc if chapter 201 or even chapter 200 is the start of the next series arc. But that's something we'll just have to wait and see. So for now, guys, what did you think of this chapter? Let me know. Like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. And this will be Lasherluke signing off. Later, guys.